it's Yasmine Tanres here, and I'm at FabTV Studios. I'm going to be looking at some of the Oscar contenders of this year. There's been a vast amount of great content out there that really touches upon some of the societal conflicts that are really prevalent nowadays. And so first up, I'm going to be looking at Best Picture. There were 4 movies that really stood out, and first I'm going to be looking at Alonso's Cuarón Roma, which is set in New Mexico City about a working class family, a working class Mexican family that works for a white family, and it's beautifully shot in a black and white picture, and so it kind of goes in line with his upbringing. And let's just remember that back in 2014 he made the Gravity movie, which had 7 out of 10 nominations. So I definitely think this is going to be in this category, if not even a winner. Even though it's just going to be released on December the 14th, it has already been shipped to so many different festivals and won Best Film at the Venice Film Festival. So that's a pretty outstanding win right there, obviously. And then the next one that I want to talk about is Blackkklansman. So this was released earlier this year by Spike Lee, and it touches upon, again, a racial aspect, more in a comedic sense. Perhaps it's also a very different tempo, set in the 70s. It follows an officer who's trying to infiltrate a Ku Klux Klan, so that sounds hilarious already. But this is really phenomenal because the actor in this is Denzel Washington's son, and he plays this role as the policeman so hilariously. I just can't wait to see it again. Honestly, it just made me laugh out loud, and it really touched upon the discrepancies back in the 70s between the racial divide as well. Another Best Picture that I think will be in this category is the Black Panther, of course, as well, released earlier on this year by Ryan Coogler, and it was just out of this world, having the first black superhero comic shown on the big screen. And not only did it have a wondrous feel of the world of Wakanda, but it also touched upon such a vital social message, and again, going back to sort of the racial discussion. And this is where I also think, and we'll be talking about this later, about the supporting actors, where Michael B. Jordan portrays the supporting actor in such a great way, and I think that's where the conversation underlines of sort of what it means to be black nowadays, and this is set in a very fantastical world. But I think this definitely deserves to be in the category of Best Picture. And then finally, The Green Book, which follows classical pianist Don Shirley, played by Mashallah Ali, and his fellow driver, who's from New York City, a white guy called Tony Lip. And that's played by Viggo Mortensen. Personally, I haven't seen this movie, but I've heard really great reviews about it, and I saw the trailer and I thought, again, this is a very powerful conversation and dynamic between 2 people, one that's being a pianist, breaking it into a very different class and race, versus having somebody working for him that's really standing up to him and his beliefs as well. So that was beautifully shot, based on the 1960s biopic by Peter Fratelli. So those 4, I think, okay, if I had to pick which one is gonna win, I will say Roma. It has this really deep, essential root to its black and white picture, but also the narrative of it, with this Mexican family. I think it's a very different type of story that isn't very prevalent in what we see on screens nowadays even. So all of those are great, but I think Roma's gonna win.